if you've been using Affinity Photo for a while, you probably use channels. They're super powerful. If you haven't used channels, definitely try them out because they're great. So where's the channels panel? Here. And you can use them to create selections. You can apply effects to different channels to create interesting color effects and much, much more. This is for PC or Mac. So window and channels. And you see you get this red, green and blue. That's if you're using RGB. If you're using CMYK, it will be cyan, etc. So you want to apply an effect only to the red channel. So just click here, just go here, red channel. And now you're in the red channel only. You see these ones are no longer active. This is the one you're going to use. And then you can apply effects. So filters and blur and Gaussian blur. I'm just applying it to the red channel. So the red channel is just being modified and click apply. That's it. Now to reset it to access and see all the other channels, just go here. You can also set them here as well, but just click here, puts it back to there. And you can see now the red channel has a blurred effect. The other channel's untouched. So you might use it like to select hair or create all different effects depending on the color of images. Maybe you've got red glasses. You might want to blur just the glasses and you want to untouch other things. So this is the power of this. And you can undo, just use the usual undo. However, when you undo, notice that the channel is still this bit. They're no longer still editable. I don't know why it doesn't set them all back. It just sets those. But to set it back, refresh it all to put it back, just click here. At any point, you can put it back to here. So anytime you do undo anything, make certain you just click here at the top and then all the things that are accessible again. And you can do the same for green. So just go to composite green and then apply effect there. So filters, and this time I'm going to go for distort and twirl. Apply any effect. For this purposes of this tutorial, a twirl effect. Now to go back again, click here, and then you've got this effect. So you've got a weird sort of unusual twirl effect, but purely just in the green channel. Again, I can undo. So undo just using the Control Z, etc. And again, reset it. Just reset it up here. That doesn't reset the effect. So if you applied effect, clicking that doesn't reset the effect. It purely just puts it back to just being RGB again. So you can access the red, green and the blue. Now you can also use this to apply various things. So composite green. So you just go here, click here and click here. So you've got this and now you still see the image in RGB and you can go to the filters. Let's just go and apply blur, Gaussian blur. And now when you apply your blur effect, even though everything's still visible, click apply. What's happened is the green and the blue can't be modified. They're locked. Like the channel over here, it's locked. These are locked. Don't know why they just didn't have a lock on there to make it more obvious that that's a lock instead of some sliders. But still, that's what they've gone for. Lock would have been better, personally. Okay, now to reset it again, just simply click there and you can see I can also undo. Now again, every time you undo, it always resets these again. So again, always make certain you click the return, put it back to the default. Okay, so you've got that. That's just by clicking the actual channel. But there's also more functionality there. Right click the red. So you can right click the red and you can see you can toggle the visibility, toggle editability. Exactly the same functionality as along the side, the right side. But you can also go for load pixel selection. So it uses the red channel for the selection. So load pixel selection. And then you've got that. Now this is applied to the whole image. This is not just applying it just to the red. This is applying it to the entire image. But it uses the red information. So if I undo, let's just go to the blue. There's also composite alpha. See nothing in it. So again, composite blue, let's load pixel selection. It's a different selection. So you've got different selections if you're using the red, green or the blue or cyan, whatever, if you're using CMYK. You can also go over here and I'm going to select a rectangle, just a basic rectangle, select this. You also notice you can go right click there and add to pixel selection. So what have you got there at the moment? You've got that selection there. And then you can see now you've still got the rectangle, but now you've got this. Undo. Do exactly the same for blue, but this time let's go for subtract. So subtract, it will only apply selection from that area of the rectangle, and obviously this. So it's done a subtraction and so on. You can see there's a lot of great functionality just there. So select, deselect. Now Affinity Photo also includes this great feature down the bottom, background red, green and blue, which you think, well, what can I do? Click it. Nothing happens. Slightly weird unless you realise you need to right click. I don't know why they didn't put a little functionality button or something to give a clue that you right click, but I know when I first used it, I didn't realise. I thought, that's strange, what's the point? But you can right click as well. Now you see it's got invert, and I'm using the red. It's not obvious which channel you're using. You just have to, because you're over it, you can then use that. If you click down to this green one, right click, it's going to use the green channel. So invert, there's the green channel's been inverted. So what was green? It's just inverted it. And you can do the same for red. So go to the red, invert, there's the red channel being inverted, and so on. You can see you can create some interesting. If you don't want to do a full-on invert where it's inverted in the RGB, you can do it by the red, the green, and the blue by using this approach. Also, green, you can see you've got clear, and you can see it clears it. That's it. Just you can see it up here. If you go to composite green, it's black. Now you can also go here, composite background green. I can then go to fill, and fill, you can see then it's just filled with green. Very odd, but that's what it does. It just fills it green. Doesn't fill it with the colour over here, which maybe it does. I don't know, but it certainly ends up being green. Undo. I've never used it. I must admit, these options, I sometimes use clear. I don't think I've ever used fill, but it's there if you want to use it. Also, there's another option that's quite good. Create a grayscale layer. Now, let's just use this. So I'm using the red. Again, it's not particularly obvious unless you've just hovered over it and know that you're inverting, etc. But create grayscale layer, select that, and it creates over here. So I've got my layers panel, obviously window and layers, and you've got this, and that is the red channel, the red channel. Now it's RGB. I wish it was an option to actually put it as a colour straight away in red. Would be nice, but no, doesn't have to, like the image it's got there. Doesn't do that. It puts it as a grayscale. But still, you can then apply effects to it. Filters, blur, Gaussian blur, and you can see then you've got that blur effect. Obviously, other effects are available. And you can then just go over here and just go blend mode, color burn, and so on. Move things around, apply effects, etc. And that's just the information that was from the red channel. It's still there, you can see over here. But what I'm going to do, just going to delete that, and it's back to there. You can do exactly the same with the green as well. Create grayscale. You can also create a mask layer. So create mask layer, and that is again based on the green. So you've got a mask layer based on the green again. You might, particular reasons, hair or whatever, you might want to use green for mask. Up to you, of course. But that's all. Now you'll notice what's happened here. Once you start going around with these things, sometimes what happens, the background disappears over here. Well, the reason is just click here and you get that back again. I must admit, whenever I've seen this before, I've gone, oh, that's strange. Why is that? This disappears. Mask alpha. So you get different information coming up, and you can see you can continue to create grayscale layer based on that as well, and so on. You can create all kinds of different things. So undo that, or delete it. But now back here again, and we got create spare channel. Now you've also got that here as well. So you can right click up here, composite red, create spare channel. Also down here, create spare channel. I assume there's no difference between the two. So I'm just going to click create spare channel, and there it is, a spare channel. And then you can go down here and select that. Now, as soon as you do that, notice what happens. This background here is not visible. The background information disappears. That is quite odd, I always think, but still, that's the way it works. And now with the spare channel, you can select there. And the only way you know it's active is if it's in grayscale. If you click here, you're obviously not using it. It's not in process, but it doesn't highlight it. It'd be nice if it highlighted it, maybe in blue or something, so you know that you're working on it. But anyway, click on it. That's all you need to do, click on it to go backwards and forwards. But again, it's not, unless I can't see any reason for that. And also you've got this one as well, pixel selection, useful as well. but I'm going to go with this one, spare channel. So I can apply effect. So filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Again, Gaussian blur it. All the other filters are available, or maybe apply brush strokes. You don't have to do that. Maybe apply gradient and so on. Whole range of different options. Now, click apply. Now, this spare channel, if I click back, so it's RGB is now active again, this channel is having no effect on this image. Has no effect on it whatsoever. Can't reset things, nothing's changed. But you want to use it, say background again, you've still got the spare channel. As soon as you select this background, and if you want to apply effects, you need to make certain the layer is selected. If the layer's not selected, you'll suddenly find that certain things are not available here, certain things are not available here. They need to be selected over here. And now you can use the spare channel information. I could have 15 different effects applied to different things, images, red channels, green channels, whatever. And they could all be stored in the spare channel. And then I can then use them, which is useful. I think there's other options as well where you can do it. You can say layer, select, save selection, and as a spare channel. So there is a few other places where you can create a spare channel, say from this image. But this is for the channels. Okay, say now I can load it. So I can just go and load it just by going down here. Make certain you've got it there, and you can rename it, delete it, duplicate it. Maybe if you want to do that, create more effects on top of effects. But you can also load to pixel selection. So there you've got that blurring effect. That was the selection. I blurred the selection. And now you've got this blurry selection, which I, of course, can now use. So apply effects, so blur, Gaussian blur, and you can see then I can apply that, click apply. And then obviously some of the image is clearer than other parts because of the selection. So again, undo. You can also move selections, transform selections, and grow selection, etc. The usual sort of things with any of these selections. But you can see there, you've got spare channel, but select, deselect, and you can do the other things as well. Add, pixel, subtract, but you've also got this as well, which is useful. So say you've applied effects here. So you've got maybe a twirl or deform or something, or procedural textures. Maybe you've applied lots of different procedural texture effects. You can add them all to spare channel, and then you can just go, oh, load background red. So as soon as I click that, then that image there is put into the red channel. And I can do it again, of course. I can load to background. It won't change anything because, of course, it's just putting the same thing over and over again. But I can also do it, load to background green. So now the green channel has that effect as well. And so on. You could, of course, have hundreds of different effects, all as channels, or other things, of course, brushstrokes. Maybe you've got frames or designs or texture effects, maybe textures and text or whatever can all be added into spare channel, and you can just bring them in at any point. Now, as possible options, you've got no fade for it. Basically, just puts it straight in. There's no fading of it, which would be nice. Also, combine it with blends. Unfortunately, doesn't seem to be available for that. But that is a run through a fair amount of functionality of this. There's also pixel selections. You can see there, you've got pixel selections. Again, click it there. You can set various things up. There's a whole range of different things. Channels panel definitely should not be ignored. Great functionality. Would be nice if there was more features. Please put in the comments below if you can think of some things you would love to see in this channel panel to make it even easier to use. But it is a great tool and worth checking out. A like or dislike, always appreciated. Bye.